I love the GameCube. It's quite possibly my favorite console of the 6th generation, and maybe favorite console of all time. All the first-party Nintendo stuff is just so charmingly weird. From Super Mario Sunshine's odd takes on classic Mario stuff to the original Animal Crossing just feeling off, to the greatest and most creative psychological horror game of that generation, Wario World. But one of my favorite GameCube games has absolutely gotta be Mario Party 7. Oh, and Luigi's Mansion 2. I guess we could talk about that. I mean, I named the video after it, so. Now, you may be asking, why am I talking about this spooky ghost game in November? And that's because, it fits for November because Luigi is thankful for his brotherly bond with Mario, and that relates to Thanksgiving. Okay, it's because I procrastinated on the script, and, I mean, I filled my scary game quota with Silent Hill 2, so, I think it's fine if I just talk about this in November. So anyways, about Luigi's Mansion, I love this game. I've beaten it a ton of times, and it's basically a Halloween tradition for me. So obviously, I'd want to review it for this November season. Let's go then. So, I would talk about the development history of this game. I haven't done that in a while, actually. But, I want to make that its own video because I just find it really interesting, even if it's kind of talked into the ground. So all I'll say is that Nintendo wanted to make something unique for the launch of the GameCube, and while they worked on Super Mario Sunshine, and so we got Linguiner's rather large, expensive house in 2001 for the Nintendo GameCube. Starting up the game, we get Demon Nintendo. Then we get to the title screen and menu screen, which I love because, I'm not biased at all towards this game, at all from any nostalgia in any way at possible. Oh, hey, look, Pikmin. Now, let's start a new profile. Oh my god, what happened to his face? Alright, let me disable dual core. There, now it's normal. So the story is that Lung Wunger won a mansion in a contest that he never participated in, and Mario decided to go check it out for himself and make sure it's safe. And after no word from Mark Rio, Lungus set out and went to the mansion himself. So as Lumberjack arrives at the mansion, we attempt to open the locked door until it's the spooky. The ghost flies away and drops the keys, which we use to unlock the foyer door and continue our search for Mario. That's not Mario! So yeah, the Stark Creepy Mansion is haunted. That's inconvenient, until suddenly some old guy comes in and starts sucking the ghost until it punches him off. His name is Egad, he's old, and captures his ghost for a living. So anyways, he talks about this mansion apparently just appearing out of thin air, like a mansion does, and then takes us to his lab, where we learn Mario did indeed go in this mansion, but he's obviously missing. So we, Lungunga, take on the valiant task of freeing Marp-Ryu. So here's where the game teaches you how to catch ghosts. Basically, for most enemy ghosts, first you gotta flash them with your flashlight, then you have to suck them with your Poltergeist 3000, aka that red vacuum thing. The main challenge is a little tug-of-war game you have when you're sucking up ghosts. You have to continuously pull against their resistance until their health is 0, or you'll fly off, and they'll get free, and you may even lose a little bit of health. When it gets to the more stronger ghosts, it gets pretty fun. Or annoying, it just kind of depends. Most of the time it's pretty fun though. So we head back and find Toad, who is also looking for Mario to escape the wrath of Princess Peach. Somehow Toad has the fantastical ability to turn on lights from his sheer happiness and save our game. Why can't I do that? Then we start actually ghost hunting. The main loop is just going through dark rooms, sucking up ghosts, finding keys, and solving puzzles. It's fun. It's like a very, very linear Metroidvania. The first two ghosts are the simple gold ghost who just punch and the pink ghost who punch you. But now they twirl. Then there's also these blue ghosts called Speedy Spirits, which are usually hidden in furniture. They're super fast, but if you catch them, you get a ton of money. They can be somewhat annoying to deal with, but they're never really put in places where, you could get hit by other ghosts while you're trying to capture them, so that's pretty good. So after Laga Waga finds a few keys, we get a call from Egad introducing portrait ghosts. which are kind of like mini puzzles you have to figure out to catch these ghosts. Really fun and have a lot of personality. The first one is some ginger guy reading a book. Luigi's hatred of gingers obviously cannot let him enjoy his book, so he sucks them. The puzzle itself is basically look away and wait until he yawns. When you start sucking portrait ghosts, the longer you keep pulling and don't slip off, the more pearls you get. This is made a bit more tough by the fact that, like, every boss drops a poison mushroom, which shrinks you and makes it so that you can't really do anything. It's actually kind of annoying because, like, yeah, I know I lost. You don't need to shove it in my face. So after sucking up the ginger, Luigi goes after his wife because... Basically, we just pull the curtains to distract her to suck her up. And now we go after their child, because Luigi just has a vendetta for this man. We wake them up, they ask to play with us, and we hit them with a bouncy ball. This is also real advice on how to babysit children. Trust me. Then the stupid kid gets upset about us hitting him in the face with a ball and shrinks Luigi and now attacks us as a giant baby with a huge ball. I should rephrase that. A giant baby that throws huge bouncy balls at us. This is our first boss battle. The bosses aren't like the best thing ever in this game, but most of them are fine. This first boss against the baby, Chauncey, basically involves us hitting him with the bouncy balls and then sucking him up. And so we just do that. We then find a big old key and finish the first quarter of the game. We go back to Egad's lab and he turns the ghost back into portraits using his porta potty. I love the goofy little animation it has. Here's where we also get introduced to the whole system with how much better you do on the portrait ghosts and bosses giving you a better portrait. I got gold in all of Area 1 because I'm just that good on the first area of this super easy game. Anyways, we go back and on to Area 2. And after taking out some Shy Guys, and honestly, these are my favorite Shy Guy designs, and taking out this dancing couple by, You know, I never figured out what exactly got these guys to show their hearts. It always happened randomly for me. Anyways, we go into this room, press the switch, and oh no, there goes all the boos. Luigi, you idiot. This adds another part of the game, boo hunting. Also known as the worst part. Basically, Luigi, this is a kid's game. Calm down, jeez. Basically, you use the Game Boy Horror's boo detector to find boos all throughout the mansion, then just, stand there and suck them up. It's not very good. You don't get the fun tug-of-rope gameplay, and the boo health drains super slow when they're in the dark. And these things can have like 400 freaking health points. Yeah, it's pretty tedious, and in total, there's 50 of them. You only need 40, but I got all of them because I'm a tryhard. After catching a few boos, we enter one of the game's many mirror puzzles with these grabby ghosts. And after that, we get the very first elemental metal, which are different metals which spit stuff out of our vacuum. The first being fire, which we then use to harass this butler and go to the first secret room. There's 2 of these, and they're full of treasure. That's her shtick. So after that little detour, we go to the music room and do that to the instruments. They start playing the Mario theme, and then we see this ghost girl playing the piano. This is Melody Pianissima. She plays the piano. That's her gimmick. She then asks us if we want to participate in a quiz for her. We do, and she quizzes us on over, well, you know, Mario music. Imagine being a little kid in 2001 and getting this as your first Mario game. You'd be cooked on this section. Then, for no reason at all, Melody just attacks us for completing her quiz. She doesn't even get angry. She's just like, hey, Luigi, die. So we just suck her up. Well, after all that, we find our very first optional portrait ghost. A fat dude. And you know, we could just let him eat and skip him. I mean, not gonna... Take that, fat man! After that, we get the water elemental metal. You can guess what that does. The most notable part about this metal is that you can use it to water plants and get money for it. There's even like a game-long quest where after every area you can water this specific plant until it gives you a butt ton of money. So after that, we then capture a ghost dog, fight some skeleton ghosts technically. How does that work? And then fight our second boss Fogmire. I love this guy's design. He's like a purple ghost blob thing, and it's just a fantastic design. His boss fight is pretty alright, where you just kind of suck up his cell-shaded shadow clones and then spit them back at him so you can capture him. And with that, another area is done. On to Area 3, my favorite. So we head to the courtyard where we find a well, and then we find Mario in a painting. I believe that his good brother, Luigevil, should perhaps do something about this. Anyways, we then randomly assault a guy who was just lifting weights because why not? Then we get introduced to the gravity flipping mechanic, which is like, it's used like one more time. But more importantly, we get the ice medal. Guess what that does? Anyways, we start randomly assaulting ghosts again, like an old lady, a pig lady. Oh my god, Muppets reference. And then remember the 3 ghosts that we sucked up from the first area? Yeah, I guess there were 2 more family members left, and Luigi doesn't like to leave things unfinished, so we sucked them up too. Luigi then shoots the moon, because when he saw Eggman do it, he knew he had to do it too. All throughout this, we keep finding Mario's spare clothes and his star, which I guess is just a thing he carries with him. Anyways, if we take these to a ghost named Madame Clairvoyant, she basically tells us stuff we kinda already know. Mario's in the mansion. He's in a painting. King Boo exists. But apparently, she also sees a vision of Bowser. How could he be in this mansion? Personal theory for now? He's hiding in one of the pods. Then Madame Clairvoyant willingly lets us capture her, giving us a key to the attic. We then reach the balcony and find a butt ton of boos, who then combine into the third boss, Bluff, also known as the worst boss. You just try to pop him and freeze all the boos that come out, but once it's down to like 3 or less boos, it gets super annoying because all you can do is just wait for them to come into your general direction for the ice attack. It's really, really mind-numbing. Look at this. After that, we get the Area 4 key and proceed onwards. Oh. Okay. So now every room is dark again, and you have to get the key to the breaker room to fix it. Something kind of annoying about this part is, 1, you can't take 2 steps without a ghost appearing, and 2, there are speedy spirits that are exclusive to it. That's stupid. Also, hanging Luigi, oh no! So after doing all that, we find the ghost key with the key to the breaker room, and it's a depressed old man. He barely even puts up a fight when you try to capture him. This is just sad. Anyways, we restore power and continue on to Area 4. The portrait ghosts for this area are, clockwork, doll, men, I don't know. You have to capture all 3 of them, but thankfully only the middle one actually counts towards your rank. Not that I got a good one anyways. We also go to the roof and find the second hidden room, which also leads to the next optional ghost. A little girl who died in her sleep. I'm not kidding, that's what the game actually says. We then capture Jarvis, a Scottish pot ghost thing. I don't think he's even human. And then our next ghost is just a guy who was trying to rest in some ice, and then Luigi came and ruined that, like he always does. I also used the ice physics here for some great comedic effect. Mario! Yeah. And now, we finally meet the creator of all the basic ghosts in the mansion. Dollar Store Vincent Van Gogh. He makes us fight his creations, then gets angry when we destroy his paintings, and we capture him and get the key to the final area. Now we finally confront King Boo. After stealing his money, because honestly, it's kind of deserved. He monologues about how Mario and Luigi have caused a lot of trouble for him, blah blah blah. But anyways, he then sucks Luigi into the Mario painting and summons Bowser out of nowhere. That is the most shoehorned way to put him in this game. But the final boss itself actually makes up for it by being pretty good and somewhat challenging. You have to wait for the Bowser to start breathing fire to actually hit him with his bombs. Instead, bombs have a timer on them that makes it so they blow up after a while. Oh, and Bowser's head pops off, and that's just pure nightmare fuel. But we defeat King Boo, steal his crown, get Mario back, and then we turn him back. And we are then given one of the funkiest credit themes ever. This game's music slaps in general. Most of it's this kind of goofy, spooky techno stuff, and of course there's the atonic theme, which Luigi sings along with, and his singing changes depending on how much health you have, which is really fun. So after the credits, the game says Luigi used his money to build a new mansion. Ha! I got an earring! Ha! Yeah, the game ranks you on this too. The more money, the better your mansion. This is what the E rank looks like. So overall, Luigi's Mansion is just as fun as it was the last 100 millionth time I played it. It's definitely not hard at all. I don't think I actually got a game over on my playthrough. And the game tries to do this hidden mansion thing, but it's super lame. You just suck faster and the ghosts do slightly more damage. But that's it. Unless, for some insane reason, you have the European version, which completely flipped the mansion, changed the Bluosis boss fight to be this. Shame this never came to the States, but it doesn't change the fact that Luigi's Mansion is still pretty fun and relatively short too. I remember I've beaten it in a single sitting. Actually, that's how I first beat it. There were 2 sequels that are technically better games. Debatable for the second one. But they never recaptured the absolutely spooky charm of this original game. Also, in 2018, the game got a remake on 3DS, which is the version I grew up on. It's alright. Kind of messes with the darkness of the rooms, and the lack of a proper right stick kind of sucks. But it's a fine version of the game. The hidden mansion in this version is a nightmare, no hearts spawn, the ghosts do a ton of damage and have way more health. And also, now we have a new portrait level. Platinum portraits, which you can only get by getting them perfectly in their hidden mansion versions. I actually got all the platinums on my old 3DS save. Here's some proof from my crusty old phone camera. So after all is said and done, what deep, thought-provoking message on this game did we learn? Luigi.